All right, Cowboys Nation, get ready to buckle up. Because we've got some massive breaking news that's going to send shockwaves through the entire NFL landscape. The Dallas Cowboys, America's team, have just pulled off one of the most jaw-dropping moves in recent memory. In an absolutely historic trade, the Cowboys have traded for none other than Tee Higgins, the standout wide receiver from the Cincinnati Bengals. And let me tell you, this is a game changer. If you've been following the Cowboys for any length of time, you know they're always on the hunt for that next big move. But this is something on another level entirely. It's a trade that completely alters the dynamic of the NFC East, the NFC playoffs, and could very well position the Cowboys as true Super Bowl contenders for years to come. Now let's talk about Tee Higgins for a second. If you've been living under a rock and don't know who this guy is, you're in for a treat. The man is a certified stud, standing tall at 6'4" and weighing in at around 215 pounds. Higgins is the kind of receiver who not only has elite size but also plays with a level of tenacity and finesse that makes him a nightmare for cornerbacks. His combination of speed, agility, and ability to make incredible contested catches has made him a fan favorite in Cincinnati, and it's exactly what the Cowboys have needed: an explosive, physical playmaker who can go toe-to-toe with the best defenses in the league. Over the past few seasons, T has proven that he can step up in the biggest moments, whether it's a crucial 3rd and long or a game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. Higgins has always been a reliable target for Joe Burrow, and now he's going to be Dak Prescott's go-to guy. But hold on, let's not rush it. This trade is way bigger than just adding a receiver to the roster. The sheer magnitude of what the Cowboys have done here cannot be overstated. This is a historic trade, and I mean that in every sense of the word. The Dallas Cowboys didn't just acquire Tee Higgins for a handful of mid-round picks like some random low-key deal you'd see in the offseason. No. The Cowboys have flipped the script on the entire NFL by sending 2 first-round draft picks, a second-rounder, and some serious cash considerations in exchange for Tee Higgins. 2 first-round picks. I don't know about you, but that's unheard of for a wide receiver in this day and age. It's a high-risk, high-reward kind of deal. And the Cowboys are clearly banking on the idea that Higgins is that missing piece to complete their offensive puzzle. But when you think about it, if you have a chance to add a player of T's caliber, one who's entering his prime, can dominate on the field, and has that big play potential, you go all in. And that's exactly what the Cowboys have done here. They've made a statement that they are serious about making a deep playoff run this season, and this trade is a clear indication that Jerry Jones and company aren't messing around anymore. Now let's talk about the impact this is going to have on the Cowboys' offense. If you're a Cowboys fan, you've been waiting for this moment. For years, we've watched Dallas have one of the most balanced, run-heavy offenses in the league. And yet, there's always been something missing. That true elite. No. One receiver who can change the game at a moment's notice. CeeDee Lamb has done a fantastic job as the Cowboys' lead receiver. But let's face it, he's had to do a lot of heavy lifting. With Tee Higgins now in the fold, that entire dynamic changes. You can no longer just focus on shutting down Lamb. You've got a legit 1B option in Higgins who can take advantage of single coverage, and when both of them are on the field at the same time, it's a nightmare for any defense. I'm talking about 2 of the most dynamic, explosive wideouts in the NFL. Lamb with his precision route running and yards after catch ability, and Higgins with his freakish physicality, high-pointing the football and ability to stretch the field vertically. This duo could be one of the most lethal combinations in the league. The balance it provides Dak Prescott's offense is exactly what they've needed for the past few seasons. Speaking of Dak, let's talk about how this move affects him. Dak Prescott has always been a good quarterback, but for the Cowboys to take the next step, Dak needed more help. This is exactly what he's getting. For years now, we've seen Dak struggle with inconsistent weapons and a lack of downfield playmaking ability. The signing of T Higgins now gives Dak the freedom to push the ball down the field with confidence. It opens up the entire playbook. The Cowboys have been known for their effective play-action game, especially with Tony Pollard in the backfield, but now you can run play-action to both sides and watch Higgins and Lamb create chaos in the secondary. Dak is going to have more opportunities than ever to take shots down the field, which will keep opposing defenses guessing. The Cowboys' offense just became dangerous. You can't just focus on shutting down the run or double-teaming Lamb. With Higgins pulling attention away, you've got a legit no one and no two receiver combo that can take over any game. Imagine Dak dropping back, faking the handoff to Pollard, and seeing Higgins streaking down the sideline with Lamb running a slant underneath. That's a nightmare for any defense, and now the Cowboys have that kind of versatility in their offense. Now, let's zoom out a little bit and look at the broader picture. This trade has massive implications not just for the Cowboys, but for the entire NFC. The NFC East, as we all know, is one of the most competitive divisions in football. The Philadelphia Eagles have been the reigning kings of the division, and while the Cowboys have been knocking on the door, they've always come up a little short. Well, with this move, Dallas has firmly put the entire league on notice. The Cowboys are now a contender. If they weren't already considered one, they certainly are now. This trade shifts the balance of power in the NFC. With a top-tier defense, a Super Bowl caliber quarterback in Dak, and now an offense that can go toe-to-toe with anyone, the Cowboys are positioned to make a serious run at the Super Bowl. It's hard to ignore the firepower they've now got on both sides of the ball, and while the Eagles are still a tough matchup, the Cowboys have now closed the gap. The NFC East just became a lot more interesting, and the stakes for those two games between Dallas and Philly just went through the roof. If you're an Eagles fan, you've got to be looking over your shoulder now. Dallas is coming for that throne. But hey, the NFC isn't just about the Eagles. The 49ers are stacked, and the Seahawks have shown flashes of greatness. But with the addition of Tee Higgins, the Cowboys' offense has suddenly become one of the most potent in the league. The Cowboys now have the kind of explosive passing game that can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the NFC. They have the tools to keep up with the high-flying offenses of the NFC West, and they now have a receiver who can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the league, whether it's Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay, or any top cornerback in the NFL. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The Bengals, who just traded away one of their top weapons, are going to feel the loss of Higgins. He's been a crucial piece in their offense alongside Jamar Chase, and while they still have an elite quarterback in Joe Burrow, replacing Higgins won't be easy. This trade certainly shakes things up in Cincinnati, and the Bengals will need to adjust their offense to account for the loss of one of their top targets. It's a huge blow to their Super Bowl hopes, especially with Higgins' ability to win in key moments. But for the Cowboys, this is a win-now move, and it sends a clear message to the rest of the league that they are ready to contend at the highest level. So, what does all of this mean for the Cowboys? Simply put, this is one of the most significant trades in recent memory. Tee Higgins is a player who can immediately step in and make an impact. He gives Dak Prescott the kind of weapon he's been waiting for, and he provides a level of firepower that the Cowboys haven't had in years. With this move, the Cowboys have gone from being a playoff contender to a true Super Bowl threat. The offense is now balanced, explosive, and dangerous, and with a defense that can already hold its own, the Cowboys are now built to make a deep playoff run. And here's the best part. It's only just begun. The NFL is changing every year, and this trade proves that the Cowboys are committed to bringing home that sixth Super Bowl title. But hey, I want to know what you think about this trade. Is T Higgins the missing piece for the Cowboys, or did they give up too much to make this move happen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get the conversation started. And if you haven't already, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates on the Cowboys' path to glory. This is just the beginning, and we've got so much more to talk about. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys!